Hello, and welcome to the weekly broadcast of Strategic Speaking for Results. I'm Elizabeth Bachman, your host. And today I want to talk about the launch of the Visible and Valued Leadership Certification Program. This came about because my clients have been asking me to pull everything together into a program that will actually be useful as you move forward in your business, as you move forward in your career. As Priyanka said to me, I feel like I work all day solving problems, but nobody notices. And then I see that obnoxious guy on my team get the credit for the work that we all did. Basically, he claimed the credit for the work. And she said, I'm just so tired of seeing other people get the credit and the recognition and the promotions for the work that we're all doing. It's an eternal problem. You do a good, competent job, and you get taken for granted. This is why I created the Visible and Valued Leadership Certification Program launching in January. Now, you won't suddenly get promoted in 90 seconds. That's position yourself in 90 seconds. That doesn't mean that it's just one 90-second chunk that gets you promoted. The key is to establish your value in a series of 60 to 90-second stories. I've been talking about this for several months, so you can just go back through the playlists here to see that it works. This way, you don't have to spend hours creating a full keynote speech. Although, when you're ready to do a full keynote speech, you've got your material because your 60 to 90-second stories are the ones that will be like the beads on a necklace. String them together in the right order, and you have a keynote speech. The good part is, once you get started with these stories, it only takes 15 minutes or so to create each one, and maybe another 15 minutes to practice saying it well. But that's doable. That's possible. Anybody can find 15 minutes. Of course, you do need the right strategy. That's part of what we discuss in the certification course. It's not terribly complicated, but everybody's situation is different. So once you have the tools, when and where to use them is always the challenge. The real challenge is to actually do it. That's why I've set this up as a group course so that you have an accountability. I can't tell you how many clients have said to me, I know I should be doing more to increase my visibility, but where do I start? How do I find the time? The answer is, if you can just set aside 2 mornings a month to focus on your long-term goals, you'll be amazed at how fast you see the results. It's like finding those mornings to go to the gym. A few minutes of effort at regular intervals will make all the difference. And I should be taking my own advice about that. In the Visible and Valued group, you'll find a cohort of equally driven peers who are on the same journey you are. You'll have a group to give you support, catch you when you're about to downplay your skill, and hold you accountable. You really need other people to do this. You need people to bounce the ideas off of. Otherwise, it's just too easy to take the things that you're good at for granted. I've never forgotten early in my career when I helped out at a workshop for senior women. And the point of the workshop was how to describe the skills you used in your old industry to apply to a brand new industry where you had no history. One woman had brought her bio for us to look at, and buried way down in paragraph 8 was the information that she had founded and sold 3 different companies. Now, because she'd done that 10 years earlier, she didn't think it was important. We made her move it to the top, And sure enough, that was the deciding factor in her next interview, and she got the job she wanted. There are 3 tips to get you started, and there's a great deal more about this on the internet, so reach out to me if you've got questions. First is to track your achievements and then create a story about it. Second, work with a partner. And third, think about what would have happened if you had not been there. This is the piece of the course that I don't hear anybody else talking about. This is actually mine, my unique intellectual property, is that when you are turning your achievements into a story, you drop it into a conversation, into a meeting, like a seed. You're just planting a seed and then giving it time to grow. Working with a partner, in addition to the accountability, is also helpful, because if you can have a partner who's within your company, you can say great things about them and they can say great things about you. It's always easier to say good things about someone else. And then thirdly, think about the hundreds of small actions that you take every day to keep your team, your department, your division running smoothly. What are all those little things that you might take for granted, but not everybody can do them? You can only really talk about this in opposition, where you can talk about a disaster story. Disaster stories are everywhere. Find a disaster story that in another company where you can say, I'm so glad we didn't go down that road because I have taken active steps to make sure that that doesn't happen here. There's so much more. Look it up under elizabethbachman.com/leadership certification. I'll post the link in the comments and see you on the next one.